We're live. Do you have anything that you want to say, Nick?
I like that color shirt. It's not a color I have seen on you prior, but I think it is working well.
Well, all I can say is, that's quite the compliment, Nick. Quite the compliment. But
I'm
I
glad.
will say that this is actually a brand new shirt,
Okay, very good.
and it is today is the big reveal.
Okay, I think the audience is ready.
Now, what I will say is that I have really, like I really don't want to give my fashion and my budgeting tips away to just everyone for free, Nick, but just for our audience, I'll do it.
Okay,
So, well, Lisa said good evening, John and Nick. But Nick, apparently you've been minimized because your name was not capitalized. Mine was,
capitalized where?
like in the chat, lowercase Nick.
I'm not in the
You've
chat.
been, yeah, but I'm saying that you've been minimized by the audience and your name is no longer capitalized.
Oh, what a tragedy.
Yeah, what a tragedy. So, and Lisa mentioned my curtains, and I will say that some weeks I do have them closed, and some weeks they're open, but they are closed tonight because I teach an 8 a.m. class, and so then, at 8 a.m., the sun shines right through that window and it gets a little distracting. So I just wanted to prepare and close them the night before.
Okay,
And you know what, Nick? One key to good health is planning ahead. Wouldn't you say?
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I've become a little bit of a planner, and I feel like, like I never really understood about setting your clothes out the night before or anything like that when I was a kid. But you know what, Nick? Now I set my clothes out the night before. I make sure that everything is in order before I go to sleep. And I feel like the mornings go a lot better.
Okay, it's good that it's working.
Well, I'm just saying, like I said I would give some tips away, but have you been to Meyer lately, Nick?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh my. Have you been to the clothing section of Meyer recently?
Not with the intention of shopping.
So, all right. This is a tip for our listeners in our audience, especially here in Michigan or anywhere in the Midwest where there's a Meyer. So, do you remember that there used to be some stores called, say, Sears and Kmart, Nick?
I do remember.
So, what do you think happened to all of those clothing brands when Sears and Kmart went away?
Which clothing brands are
Like
you?
all of the clothing brands you would normally see at Sears or Kmart.
I
Well, all I can say
okay.
is if you go to the clothing section in Meyer, you will be pleasantly surprised. So they as of yesterday, when I went to my local Meyer, had just about every brand that used to be in Sears, and the size of the men's department had probably increased by 75%.
It's good.
So, you know what? I went to Macy's and their clothes were awful at Macy's. Have you been to Macy's lately, Nick?
No, it's been a couple years, but
You
I
know what I
never
mean?
enjoyed clothes shopping there.
Well, all I can say is I used to enjoy it, but they ruined it for me.
Okay.
It's over. As soon as they put that Macy's backstage in, it was over for me.
Well, good things can't
You
last
don't seem
forever.
impressed, Nick. So,
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
well, what would you like to say?
Nothing. I don't have anything to say.
Well, I do
Not
have
about that.
about this, about the soju.
What is it?
Strawberry tonight.
Okay.
So there was a question about when you are going to decorate your new place, Nick. You should have a
I don't know.
decorating party.
As long as somebody else is providing the housewares, we can do that.
Well, yes, like you know what I'll do, Nick. I will provide anyone who wants to come over to your house and paint the wall behind you finger paint.
Okay.
Yes, and so you can have finger paints on your wall behind you.
Good.
Now, you know why I bring this up, Nick? It's because have you heard of this place called Madison Heights, Michigan?
I'm aware.
So, yes, so we've been asked for a house tour, Nick. Now, Nick, I'm a little bit worried because I feel like your house is probably haunted, and so that would ruin the rated PG rating of the show if you gave a tour of your house.
Okay. Well,
So probably like poltergeist at your house, and we would automatically be banned from YouTube forever.
possibility. Yes,
Yes.
very, very much a possibility.
And Lisa said that she'll decorate your house if you pay for it. But what I will say, Nick, Madison Heights, you know it's Pride Month, Nick.
Yes, I do know that.
So now I went to Madison Heights Arts and Pride Festival on Saturday. Actually, yes, Saturday.
Okay.
And what do you think arts meant, Nick? Like when you think of arts, or if somebody said arts and pride, what would you think of?
Well, arts, in the sense of a festival, I think of
Like art
what's-
vendors or people
Yeah.
selling things?
yeah,
No. This was a family affair, Nick. And the arts, along with the pride, was literally one pavilion at the Madison Heights City Park where they had two signs with rainbows on them, and they weren't even grilling or anything at the pavilion. All they had were like two signs with rainbows, and then I couldn't even find the place to begin with because the sign didn't even say anything really relevant on it. It just had the rainbows in Madison Heights rainbow sign. And then the arts, it was finger painting at a table right outside the pavilion, Nick. That's what arts has become.
well, not everyone can.
And
Be a world
Lisa
beater.
asked, was the family name Art? Well, you know what,
Oh.
Lisa, we don't talk about Art anymore because Art Van sort of ditched Detroit by
right.
being a sellout for
That is right.
what was it, the New York conglomerates. So we don't talk about the Art anymore. I'm a little bit upset at Art Van.
Okay.
You know why, Nick? Because Art Van, when Art Van was a sellout and they tried to be greedy and went for the New York conglomerates, you know what, Nick? That ruined my childhood. The day they went under, my childhood memories out the door.
That's awful.
Because you remember what one of my favorite childhood memories was, Nick? Right? Like, guess what? Guess what it was?
Furniture shopping.
No, absolutely not. No, it was standing in line on Black Friday and getting some of the freebies at Art Van with my mom.
What kind of freebies?
Well, one year there was what was it, like a 4-pack of wine glasses?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wasn't that nice?
Doesn't seem worth getting up and getting at a Black
Yes,
Friday
but
shopping
I
line.
didn't have to pay for them. There was no purchase required.
I know, but I rather not go to a Black
Oh my,
Friday
why? You're so
shopping
cheap.
line.
You won't even like even free is too expensive for you.
Well, there's a cost to it. That's getting up, going to a store where there's a lot of people.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree, Nick,
All right.
because sleep is valuable.
Yeah, and if you are going and waking up early to go to the store on Black Friday, you are not sleeping.
I don't think that's how it works, Nick.
I suppose you could sleep in the line there.
Well, I feel like that is unbelievable. But I have good news, Nick.
Okay.
It's time for the opening credits.
All right. Very good.
Roll the credits. Unbelievable.
Welcome to Funny is Part of My Name, a podcast about math
for a
and Korean
drink.
culture with a side of humor. For more information about our podcast, please visit our website at www.funnypodcastdetroit.com.
Oh my, this tastes good.
As you fade away, as you fade away,
yeah, I'm about to fade
Wow.
away.
Rather dramatic.
It is dramatic, isn't it? But men's health is pretty serious, Nick.
Yeah.
You know what, Nick? I will say that I went to I'll say that I've been trying to take advantage of some of the benefits that my health insurance offers to me, because I figure if I'm paying for insurance and they're offering me free stuff, I might as well take advantage of it.
Okay.
So I have Blue Cross, and they had some men's health seminar this week.
Okay.
And I went, and it was awful. I know
Well,
that's actually not.
it was also cost free, so
I know that probably sounds really bad to say that their men's health.
well, if it wasn't good, then what are you supposed to say?
Well, I'll say that I feel a little bit duped, is what I feel like, because
Okay.
now I thought it was supposed to be a seminar about men's health tips that I could actually use, right? But it wasn't.
All right.
It was two ladies interviewing a man, and then pretty much like interrogating him. I say interview, but that was putting it nicely, but interrogating the guy and demanding answers like, why won't men do this regarding their health? Why won't men do that regarding their health? Or why are men always so stubborn when it comes to getting a physical? Or why aren't men happier? Because they would be in much better health if they were happier, don't you think?
Were they pounding on desktops while asking those
Well,
questions?
they might as well have been. Because you know what? Their cranky old lady voices were not music to my ears.
Okay.
So that was my best impression of them that I could give too.
It sounded like your normal complaining voice.
Well, I don't think that this is a complaint, Nick. I am just stating the facts about the seminar.
No, I know, but it sounded an awful lot like your complaining voice.
I don't have any complaints, Nick.
Not right at the moment, but when you
I
do, you
rarely
sound
have
eerily like
complaints.
that.
I rarely ever have complaints, Nick.
I guess I suppose not.
So anyway, I thought that today, instead of us complaining about what people think that men could do better regarding their health that we could give people some practical tips. What do you think, Nick?
Sure.
So what is one men's health tip that you would give people?
I don't know if my health tips are necessarily specific for men. I think they're pretty universal.
Well, you know
Or
what?
does that not matter?
That's sort of discriminatory on National Men's Health Week, Nick.
Okay.
We're supposed to be singling men out this week.
Oh, all right.
This is the 1 week of the year that you can do that, Nick. So
Oh,
take advantage of it.
wow.
The rest of the year, men's health goes out the window.
Oh, so after this week, men's health doesn't matter. So men are encouraged, or not encouraged, but men should not care about being healthy outside of this week,
Well,
or
all
what
I'm
is-
saying is that if men go and get their checkups this week and they know they're healthy and their physicals are taken care of, then as long as you make a yearly event, then you're okay.
okay.
So that's my piece of advice is make sure that you get your yearly physical. It doesn't matter what your age is. Get your yearly physical.
Okay, that's fair. I think that is a sound bit of
Because
advice.
you know why? Because you can't trust those doctors' advice that say, hey, you only get your physical if you're 50 or older. Or because you know what? Next year they'll say it's 35 or older. And the following year, 76 or older. And the next year, like 2 or older. And the next year, 3 or older. And the next year, 48 or over. They can't figure it out. So just get your physical every year. That's my piece of advice, Nick.
Okay, that's reasonable.
So if you get your physical during Men's Health Week every year, you know what, Nick? Then you won't forget when it is. It's like an anniversary to get your physical every year.
Yeah, it's a good way to remember it.
Yep. So do you have any other tips, Nick?
Not that I can think that are specific to men.
Oh my.
I suppose get a prostate exam when you're. I don't know the exact age that's recommended. Maybe
Well, you know
50.
what, Nick? One of my pieces of advice for being healthy as a man is to play games like Wordle. Because you know why, Nick? Because word games improve your mental, what is it called? Mental, this is why I need to play more Wordle, Nick, because I don't have the word for it. And I would have the word for it if I played more Wordle and I knew more words.
Mental acuity.
Yes, exactly, Nick. So there you go.
I don't play Wordle at all, and I knew the word.
Nick, that's one thing you knew.
Well, it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that was a compliment or not. I just said that's
I'm not
one
sure
thing
either.
that you knew.
Yeah, I think it was just a statement.
Yes, so just so that everyone knows that I was not fooling anyone when I said that I went to the Men's Health Week seminar. I'm going to show the flyer, the virtual flyer that I received from the seminar. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but
All right, I don't
but all I'll say
do whatever you want.
is that they clearly actually went and did some copyright violations. And so I'm going to do some also. So clearly on their flyer, Nick, can you see it?
I
They
can see it.
stole it from WebMD. Source
Oh.
WebMD. So now, let's see. So prostate cancer exams, yes, starting at 50 for average risk men, but 40 for men with a strong family history of prostate cancer, Nick.
Okay.
Testicular cancer, usually seen in men's ages 20 to 54.
All right. Am I supposed to respond to
Well,
this or
all I'm
something? Or
saying, Nick, is that I thought that you would try to encourage people to go get tested for testicular cancer.
well, I don't think it's
Drink to that. Go get
necessarily.
your test.
No, I don't think it's recommended that you necessarily just go get a test. I think it's recommended that you examine yourself regularly. But unless there's some reason, though, you don't need to be going and getting a test.
So Lisa says in the live chat, I have a serious question. Go for it, Lisa. So I will say, Nick, I'll admit that if it weren't for these health screenings and taking this so seriously, I probably would not have my testicles today.
Okay.
So now I say that because I had a hernia and it was the type, and you can read about it on my website. I do have a blog post and it's kind of sad. So I won't say all of it and I'll try not to be too graphic, but essentially, like I wouldn't be here with my testicles today if it weren't for actually getting checked up regularly.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good that you were going.
And colorectal cancer screenings begin at 50. Skin cancer, check your skin regularly and discuss any changes with your doctor. You know what? That I should do that more often, but I don't really trust my dermatologist. Do you have a dermatologist, Nick?
Not currently, no.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good. That means you're at risk. You need to go get checked out, Nick.
I don't think having a doctor or not having a doctor changes the risk necessarily on its own.
Well, Nick, you never know. It might. It might.
Suppose, yeah.
And let's see. High blood pressure. Normal blood pressure is less than 120 over less than 80, and cholesterol levels and type 2 diabetes, HIV, and glaucoma. So I will say, out of all of the doctors that I would have to go to for these tests, my favorite is probably my eye doctor.
Okay.
I really like my eye doctor.
All right.
The glaucoma test, like they used to put the little puffs of air in your eye for that, right?
Yep, I remember.
My eye doctor, no more, Nick, no more.
Okay.
Can you believe that? That's how high tech she is.
So that is there another method of
Oh,
checking for that?
absolutely. There's
Okay.
some new machine that she uses, and it actually does a retina scan and takes like these pictures of your eyes. And oh my, let me tell you, when I did it for the first time this past visit, she said, you know what? Have you ever seen a picture of the inside of your eye? Have you actually seen one of the inside of your eye, Nick? Yeah, most people
Maybe.
haven't. Most people have not. And so all I can say is go to your eye doctor. And if you're in my area, go and see Dr. J at Focus 313 Eyewear. I love Dr. J, so very good. I went to her for the longest time, and oh my, like I highly recommend. And my dentist. I like my dentist too. I actually have to go this week because I have to get my cracked tooth fixed.
Okay.
But you know what? I go into my dentist about on average 5 times a year because like I don't know, I grind my teeth at night, but that's okay. That's okay, because if you know you grind your teeth at night or you know you have any of these problems here, just get checked on a regular basis. Wouldn't you agree with that, Nick?
Yeah, it's good to go for regular checkups on different things just
What
to
I will
see that
say to
nothing's
respond to
changing.
Lisa's question now, Nick, is you know what? Lisa asked if you're adopted, shouldn't adoptees have these tests sooner?
Which ones are those?
Like all of these, like any
Oh,
test.
I don't know. I suppose it's not a bad idea.
So all I will say is I think that every adoptee is in a different situation and that some people do know their family medical history,
Right.
which I think is the primary underlying concern there. And some people don't. So my advice would be, especially if you don't know your family medical history, go and get checked out immediately. Immediately. Leave your chair, leave the comfort of YouTube tonight and go to your doctor and be the first one in line tomorrow for your yearly physical.
I don't think it exactly works that way for getting a physical. It's not exactly the first come, first serve by showing up.
You know what, Nick? I will make sure I'll give all of our audience members who are men tonight listening a coupon, a fast pass to the front of the line of physicals in the morning, Nick.
Oh, okay.
So Lisa has a question. Have either of you ever thought about having genetic testing done? Have you had it done, Nick?
How do you define genetic testing?
I'm assuming pharmacogenetic testing.
I,
I'll
well,
drink to that.
I don't know what does that mean? I don't know.
So to answer your question, Lisa, since Nick is dodging the question, I'll say like usual, Nick, but that's okay. So
I don't want to change
Now-
things up.
all I will say is that I actually did just have my pharmaceutical, genomical, I don't know, like I wasn't a biological anything. I don't know, like I wasn't any of that type of major in college, but I did send over my test results about 2.5 weeks ago, and it's supposed to take about 2 business weeks to get my results back. So I should be getting them back any day. And so just so that what everyone like doesn't know about this is brought into the open, in the wide open, because Nick is dodging the questions like usual.
Yeah.
Some of the insight that this test gives you is, for example, based on your genetics, what types of medicines work better for you? Or do you metabolize some medicines more than others? Or are there certain conditions that you might be more prone to getting? And so, yes, I definitely have had that testing done. I just don't have the results back yet.
Okay.
And I'm trying not to actually like think that I just have every disease under the sun, Nick. But don't you agree that it's sometimes hard to do that when the internet is out there and you can
What?
try to self-diagnose yourself with conditions that are advertised on the internet that you know you might think that you might have and you really don't?
I suppose you can if you get overzealous with it.
Oh my. Well, Nick, I have great news for you, I guess.
Oh, good.
It's time for a break, Nick.
Oh, thank you. I need one.
Unbelievable. So we'll be back after the break with more Q&A about men's health, Nick.
Very good.
Yeah, there's lots of questions for you. I hope you have answers, Nick.
It depends what the questions are.
Do you have any more better answers than the first half of the show?
I don't know what the questions are.
Well, Nick, You should have come prepared to expect the unexpected.
Oh, that's true.
The struggle is real, Nick. Unbelievable. Roll the brake. Unbelievable.
I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient. Okay.
You know what this is
Just let
about,
me
Nick?
be me and I'll stay
Uh,
out. I can see
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say
way
email.
you're
Yeah.
such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place.
Oh my.
You wanna love me? Well then, baby,
I-
have a taste.
I
All the
don't
highs
know
and
what
the
to
lows,
say
no, you'll
about
never
that.
be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, okay,
my.
maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your
Oh, so now, Nick, there's been a comment in the chat that Rachel discovered that she had the disease of being related to you.
Oh, well, it's there's always unfortunate things that you find.
Well, Nick, oh, by the way, Lisa, the company that I used, and by the way, I'll be quite serious about this for a second if people don't mind, because Nick and all his shenanigans over there tonight, like have ruined the vibe of the seriousness of Men's Health Month. I've changed it into a whole month now, Nick. But anyway,
Okay.
now all I can say is that if you're going to do this genetic testing, make sure your insurance covers it, because some insurance
That's reasonable.
cover it and some insurances don't. However, I will say that I got a referral through one of my doctors, and then I probably didn't need to pay, but I did because the paperwork was confusing. So whatever you do, read all of the paperwork, not just the first page that you see that says something like, go online to apply for financial aid. Everyone should apply whether they have insurance or not. And then, because in my case, the financial aid form came back and said I didn't qualify for financial aid. So it was either pay $295 or risk my insurance not paying. Well, I paid the $295 because I didn't want to risk my insurance not paying. But then at the bottom of the box was a different paper that said, well, if you send in your insurance information and your insurance doesn't cover it, then we'll call you and tell you that you have to still pay the $295. So the paper at the top of the box said something different than the paper all the way at the bottom of the box. So my advice would be, get a referral from your doctor for the testing, and then because it usually is through a company that will charge a lower rate if you actually go through a doctor rather than one of the public companies. And then the second thing is read all the paperwork, because I don't want any of our audience to get scammed, Nick.
No, that's not a good thing.
Okay, so you know what? It's time for this day in history.
Okay.
We did this last week, Nick. So this is season 4, episode 2, Nick. And so, well, this is actually relevant. So what do you think happened on this day in history, Nick? I'll give you 2 guesses of what happened this day in history that's on this calendar. And remember, this is from Thumbprint News.
Okay. June 13th.
Oh my.
The ice cream cone was invented.
That's not even close. Try
Uh,
again. Now, Nick, this is for a 2-year supply of ice cream. If you get it right.
I really couldn't care less about that.
Well, you know what, Nick?
I don't even know if I've eaten ice cream in the last 2 years.
Well, you're
I
missing
mean,
out,
I
Nick.
I
You're
have,
missing
but-
out. Okay,
Okay.
so what do you think happened this day in history, Nick? And I'll even give you a hint. It was in the year 2000.
June 13th, 2000.
Oh my.
Mm.
Oh my, this is actually this. I'm really surprised, Nick, that you're not going to get this one. 2
So-
seconds left.
22 years ago. I'm at a loss.
Well, no ice cream, Nick. No ice
all right.
cream for you.
It's no sweat off my back.
That actually doesn't have as nice of a ring as no soup for you, but close enough.
You tried.
On this day in 2000, South Korean President Kim Dae-jung meets leader of North Korea Kim Jong-il for the beginning of the first ever Inter-Korea Summit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting, right?
That's pretty significant. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think though that it's sad what happened to President Kim after that, but you know what? It is what it is.
Not everything has a happy ending.
And I wouldn't be surprised if President Moon ends up in, like former President Moon now, but ends up in prison also, because Korea, I don't think, has had a president who hasn't been in prison. So I really feel a little bit bad because I did like President Moon, but oh well.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh well.
you have to stay out of trouble.
All right, Nick. So it's time for trivia.
Okay. Very good.
Men's health trivia.
Okay.
Now, here it is. So now all you have to do, Nick. Now, this is pretty easy. So all you have to do, there's 12 questions, and you just have to get, well, let's say 8 of them right. I'll be generous tonight, Nick, because
That's pretty generous.
you know why? Because one of the secrets to good health is keeping your stress level low. So I want to try to lower your stress level by making it easier for you tonight, Nick.
Okay.
Isn't
Thank
that
you.
kind?
Yeah. Actually, you know what else stresses me out? When you pound on the desk so often.
Well, Nick, that's okay.
So I guess you really don't care that much about my stress level.
Well, I didn't say that, Nick, but you have a lot of complaints. So here is the, I don't think that you can see the whole question.
I could see it. I can
Well,
definitely see
Yes,
it now.
but there's 12 of them. So
Okay.
here's the first one.
What do I get if I get 8 of them correct?
Well, Nick, here's your prize. It's whatever in here.
Okay.
What do you think is in here, by the way?
It sounds like some of it is at least loose change.
All right, so you're close, Nick.
All right.
So what do you think about the first one? Wearing a hat or using a blow dryer can cause baldness. Myth or fact?
I'm going myth.
Oh my, you got one correct so far, Nick.
Okay.
So Lisa asked, is it hot in Michigan? So did you get an email from DTE tonight, Nick?
I did, yes.
So what did the email say?
I don't know. I only read the title and then I put it in the trash.
What was it about?
Something about the warm weather coming up.
No, not quite. So apparently severe weather is expected overnight tonight,
Oh.
and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
and including wind gales of 70 miles per hour. And it says, please be prepared and safe. And you know what? This goes for severe weather, and this goes for National Men's Health Week. You need to be prepared and safe. So get your physicals and unplug your appliances during the storms.
I'm getting very stressed out with how much you're pounding on the desk.
Well, Nick, that's okay.
That's
And
not
leave-
okay. I don't feel okay. I'm getting stressed
And
out.
leave one light on so you'll know when the power is back on, and charge your electrical appliances ahead of the storms, and check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. And especially if your area is experiencing an outage. And I would say the same thing about Men's Health Week. You know what? Leave one light on so that you don't trip over everything when you're running out of the house at 7 a.m. for your physical. And
It's-
charge your electrical appliances like your phone so that if you know what, like you're driving to the physical at 7 a.m. and you get a flat tire, you can call somebody because your phone was charged. And especially check on your neighbors, the elderly men especially, to make sure that they don't need a ride to the physical with you. So the same rules apply to National Men's Health Week as they do to the upcoming storms.
Okay. Very good.
Wouldn't you agree, Nick?
Mm, somewhat.
So to answer your question, Lisa, around 11 a.m. today, one of my former students emailed me and said, did you know it was supposed to be 100 degrees in Michigan this week? Yeah, did you know we were supposed to get 100 degrees this week, Nick?
I read that. Yeah, we'll be close.
Okay, so around 11 a.m., I looked and sure enough, 100 was there in the forecast. They've now backed it down to 98, but with a heat index warning of 105 heat index or higher. So I don't know. Like I would have liked to have seen the 100. Like, and I say that just because it's like, oh, you're so close. You're so close to getting the 100 and you're not going to get it. Just give me the 100.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it, Nick. Anyway.
Okay.
Question 2. Men who wear briefs are less fertile.
Myth.
Oh my. I'm surprised you got that right, Nick. I don't
Okay,
know what to
yeah.
say. I don't. So, some of these I have no idea why people actually. I want to go. I wish I could go back to the last slide because I wonder who actually puts their briefs on a clothesline like that.
Well, if you don't have a clothes dryer,
Yeah, but if I didn't have a clothes dryer, I probably wouldn't wear briefs because I wouldn't want everyone to see them.
that's fair.
So anyway, the more you shave, the thicker your beard will be.
This is a myth.
All right, let's see. Oh my. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm surprised you got that right, Nick.
Must be my night.
The bigger men's shoe size, the larger their penis.
I'll say myth.
Why are all these myths?
I don't know.
This looks like a scam. Men hit their sexual peak at 18.
Mm. I hope not. I'm going to say myth. Wow.
Womp womp.
Oh, based on the, okay. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how to define that.
I,
But all
I
right.
don't actually take this quiz seriously anymore because they didn't put a space and level of.
Yeah, look at that. Spelling it.
And you know what? I misread it because I thought it said, like, I was reading it too quickly. I was like, meatloaf. Like, I mean, if they,
Oh, yeah. Like if you look at it very, very quickly, it does look reminiscent.
yeah, meatloaf, especially since they didn't put the space in there.
Yeah.
What are you doing to me, WebMD? I'm
Ah,
giving you negative 500 points tonight.
I agree with that.
This is the first time. Isn't this the first time a website has gotten minus 500 points, Nick?
Yeah, on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, so WebMD, you're making history right now. No pain, no gain. If your workout doesn't hurt, it's not effective.
That's definitely a myth.
Wow, I'm surprised, Nick. I'm really surprised. Wait, is 6 out of 12 how many you got right, or what question number we're on?
Question number.
Oh my, okay. Well, you know what? Or it could be the counter of number of shots of soju I've had tonight. I mean, I
Perhaps.
don't know. More men die from prostate cancer than from any other type of cancer.
Let's see here.
Oh
Prostate
my.
cancers, it's pretty common in the scheme of cancers for men, but it's also very treatable. So
Oh my.
I'm going myth.
Myth. Let's see. Well, I wouldn't have actually have known that. Well, that's I don't know what to say about that. Men can't get breast cancer.
That is definitely a myth.
Wait, so there's only been one fact so far?
Yeah.
Oh my. I don't know what they're doing. Men don't have to be concerned about osteoporosis.
That's definitely a myth.
Well, wait a second. These are some weird like questions, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Why are they weird?
Like the assortment of questions.
Really? I mean, it's all about health.
Unbelievable. You can break your penis.
Don't know how to define that.
Well, myth or fact, Nick?
I want it to be true, so I'm going to say fact.
Well, that's true.
You know, I've already won. I've answered 9 out of.
Well, that's okay, Nick. I have nothing to lose here tonight.
Okay.
So everyone's a winner when it comes to getting your yearly men's health checkups. Wouldn't you agree, Nick? Everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Oh, but I actually know 2 people that this has happened to, by the way. So like this is pretty serious.
I imagine it sounds painful.
Yeah, so like I know 2 people that this has happened to. So, you know, not me. So thankfully,
It sounds painful.
yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, this is actually I don't really. It is rare, which
I think we're all set talking
yeah,
about
but
it. We can move on to another question.
yeah, but it is. But I do want to make it clear that this is rare, so not to alarm our male listeners. But
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
But I will say though that makes it even more rare that I would know 2 people that this has happened to.
That is, yeah. I don't know what the or the frequency of it is, but I mean, in my opinion, yeah, knowing 2 people that have experienced it, that seems a lot.
Yeah, so that was actually, it's unfortunate. So drinking beer can contribute to a beer belly.
I say fact.
Oh my. Well, you know what? That's okay. But I will say that speaking of snacks, I do have a snack here. So we have one more question here. Grilled meat contains substances that may increase the risk for cancer.
I mean, I'm sure to some extent, so I'll say fact.
Well, I have heard about that. So, Nick, you've won, but you were right that it's coins, loose change, but they are plastic coins, Nick.
Oh, well.
So there you go.
Okay.
You get plastic coins. So I have nothing to lose because there's nothing of real value in that chest.
I think this is the first time I've ever won trivia.
Well, Nick, that's okay because everyone's a winner during National Men's Health Week, Nick.
Good.
There's
good.
no loser when it comes to getting your physical.
Well, I suppose if your physical goes really poorly.
Yeah, but there's still not a loser because at least you know.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So let's see. So have you ever had these before?
No. Wow. It's
Shunzong.
Oh, what is this here? What's the dark spots? Is that black sesame seeds?
Yeah, there's sweet honey and roasted black sesame.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right, so here we go. Oh my, I don't even know what to say about this. So they look like
Is it corn based?
and you're you're supposed to like put them on your fingers.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's perfect for that.
Yeah, but they like my this is like
Your hand's too big. It's like putting an olive on there.
oh my,
Well, why don't you try some so we can
oh no,
get a review?
oh wow.
Pretty good.
Well, it says that you're supposed to dip into the ice cream and yogurt, and then
Oh, so they're sugary.
yeah, actually, you know what? They actually taste like churro, like, but
Oh, okay. They look like it.
but it has a little bit of a honey flavor to it also, but it's honey cinnamon flavored, so churro like. So I can see like it being good to dip into ice cream and yogurt.
Is it corn based though? What's the primary ingredient?
What is this, like a Viking?
Something like that. It's a little bit creepy, but what's the primary ingredient though?
Wheat flour.
Okay.
Oh my. I'm enjoying these.
Good.
Shunzong. Well, Nick. Yeah. So
Yes.
Rachel makes a good point that I let you win this week because winning is good for your health.
Thank you. I did feel good.
Yeah, didn't it feel good? And you know what would feel even better? Like getting your yearly physical so that you know that you're all checked out. So to all of our male listeners, go get your yearly physical. And to everyone else who's not a male listener tonight, encourage males to get their yearly physicals.
Should the non-males also get their yearly physicals?
Well, yes, but I would say don't do it during National Men's Health Week. Like, let the men get their physicals this week.
Oh, so are you encouraging doctors then to turn away anybody who wants?
Well,
a physical
no,
that
I'm
is
not
male?
saying that, Nick. I'm just saying, though, like you have 51 other weeks out of the year that men probably won't even go to get their physical. So, you know, like share this 1 week.
Okay,
Sharing is caring.
so they say.
Yeah, like sharing helps improve your health. You know what, Nick? It's time for a break.
I don't know if sharing needles improves your health though.
I don't know what to say.
I don't think sharing syringes improves your health.
I don't know what to say about that, Nick.
So
but
there's a little
I
gap
feel
in
like
the theory.
I have actually something to like this next break, Nick. This is health related.
Okay.
At least I would argue that it is. So the struggle is real over here, Nick. I don't even know.
It happens. It happens.
Don't know what's happening.
It's okay.
The struggle is real.
You're not okay.
Isn't
Tell me what's wrong.
I don't know what's going on here.
Felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay
It's
strong.
a softball game going on.
Look away.
yeah.
But I've known you too long. It
Because wouldn't you say that playing sports is probably good for your health?
Yes.
And did you know today is World Softball Day?
I know now.
Oh my, I'm surprised you didn't know that sooner.
Well, you can't know everything.
World Softball Day.
Okay.
I thought you would have known.
I'm sorry I didn't.
Oh, but
Actually, I'm not sorry.
in conclusion,
Conclusion to what?
well, to today's show,
Oh, okay.
like to my final thoughts about National Men's Health Week, Nick. So Lisa said in the chat, I've had enough of doctors today. Well, you know what, Lisa? I agree with you. I've had enough with doctors today too. And that's why I've been taking matters into my own hands.
All right.
So here's my thought, Nick. This is exactly why I get my yearly physicals. This is exactly why I get my yearly eye checkups, my yearly dental checkups, my everything that my insurance will cover every year, checkups like milk your insurance for every dollar that you can if you have insurance. That's my advice. And keep
Fair.
a record of all of it. Because you know what? Once you have all of that information, then you use it to outsmart your doctors.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my thought, Nick. You don't ever know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So if you don't go to your doctor and get your yearly physical, you don't know because you don't know what you don't know.
Fair.
So even if you don't like your doctor, go and get your yearly physical because you might know something then that you didn't know before.
Yeah.
So it's like voting in an election. Like you have a choice between your doctor or, well, what's the alternative, Nick? Like just like sitting on the couch and eating a box of Cheetos.
I suppose that's an alternative. Yes.
No, it's not, Nick, because Cheetos don't come in boxes. So that's a bunch of fake news. You fell for it too.
What do you mean Cheetos don't come in boxes? Oh, Cheetos. I'm thinking
Unbelievable, Nick.
Cheez-Its.
You fell for my trap.
Yes, I don't
And
eat
then
them.
you said that your
Yeah.
mental health was up there. Well, you fell for that one, Nick.
What?
So you should go and get your mental clarity checked there, Nick, because you almost thought that Cheetos came in boxes. I'm just testing you there, Nick.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
See how that works, Nick?
I do now.
Yep. So now, Nick, it's time for the final joke of the week. I can't believe that we can't talk about men's mental health all the rest of the night, but we just can't because we have to let the audience go so that they can get in line first thing in the morning for their physicals if they haven't gotten one already.
All right. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, very kind, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, Nick, what is your final joke of the week?
Well, did you know that Adam and Eve's first computer was an Apple?
Well, I did not know that, Nick, because I wasn't around back then.
That's accurate. But yeah, it was an Apple, but unfortunately it was very low on memory. One byte and everything just crashed.
Well, Nick, I don't think they had computers back then either, so I don't think that was a historically accurate joke.
Can you absolutely validate that though?
Well, you know what? Even if I could, I wouldn't want to, because that would mean then I would be the oldest man alive, and I wouldn't want that responsibility.
That's true.
See, Nick,
That's a good point.
Yep. It is a very good point, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So, you know what? Unfortunately, our time is over, Nick, but happy shampoo week, everyone. This
Oh, good.
is real. Did you know?
Thank you for watching Funny is part of my name. For more information about our podcast, please visit our website at www.funnypodcastdetroit.com. We'll see you back here next week at 10 p.m. for an all-new episode. What's his Forrest Gump's email password? One Forrest One. Who thinks I'm funnier than Nick?
She has jokes, Nick.
Nice.
What a
That was
time.